Good morning, world.
I got this all by myself. I went to the DM. I found it. If you go on the, first of all, I had to get on the internet, and it was easy, and I have ID. Oh, I'm just so fired up. I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian. All right, welcome back, everybody. Cedric, I want to congratulate you on doing that. You sure you didn't have a white liberal help you get that ID?
I thought about it, and I looked at white liberals in the yellow pages, and I looked at white liberals in the internet. Couldn't find any, so I said, you know what? I'm going to do this by myself.
Does that mean you could probably vote if they asked you for your ID?
I figured, if I can drive a car, I can go fishing, I can go hunting, I can even get arrested and be booked and detained now.
Wow,
good job. You need ID for that. But you don't need it for voting.
I guess you can guess what we're talking about today. We're going to review an old clip by Ami Horowitz.
Ami Horowitz.
And he did this back in 2016, but it is relevant today. It's about the voter ID laws that a lot of these states want to implement, and are they racist?
I'm Ami Horowitz, and I'm here in Berkeley, California to find out if voter ID laws suppress the black vote.
Well, let's start off right off the bat.
Location.
Can you find a white liberal at Berkeley? That's the first question.
I think it's a requirement to live there.
Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you need some type of ID to get into Berkeley? Whether you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever it is.
I think it may even help you.
And then they give you a student ID to show that you're a part of that school population.
These are Berkeley kids, so these are supposed to be smart kids.
Supposed to be.
So it gets better, folks.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
I held up my ID at the beginning of this segment. Obviously, we were being sarcastic. It's not that hard.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
So is that guy a professor? He's got to be a professor, right? This is what they're teaching your kids.
This is what we're paying for.
At the elite universities. Is that? I mean, what's more insulting? These are the anti-racists, right? People at Berkeley are the anti-racists.
Required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs if you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
They don't have the knowledge.
These type of people don't have the type of knowledge.
Oh my God.
They're dead serious about this.
I know. These are your anti-racist folks. This is what they're being taught.
The term coddling comes to mind. It's like, and they think they're doing such a great job of empowering minorities or BIPOCs, as we used the term a while back.
Yeah.
But they understand you get to a point when you coddle so much that the people are helpless and they don't know how to do for themselves.
It's the most racist thing, and these people are so unaware of what they're saying.
It's a damn shame.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed.
I also think there's a repression of black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida.
So you must be black if you're a convicted felon.
I just can't.
Florida, that's a huge population of the African Americans.
But she used the proper term.
African American?
Before we get to the rebuttal of this, because the rebuttals are good. Come on, man. I mean, this is so insulting on every level that I cannot believe they can get away with it. And this is why Delta, the MLB, and Coca-Cola are all giving Georgia a hard time because of voter ID laws. It's insulting.
And what's so ironic about that Major League Baseball All-Star game coming up is that they moved it from a place in Atlanta, Georgia that has a 51% black population to Denver, Colorado, which is like 9% black population. I mean, I don't care either one way or the other, but it's like the reasons behind them doing it was just asinine.
Now they're not going to have those jobs that they would have had during the All-Star game.
Yeah, they just lost out on $100 million that was going to get poured into that community from having the All-Star game there.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard.
This will be good.
Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That was a good one.
I love that.
Why would they think we don't have ID?
If you look at the facial expressions, they're thinking like, this has got to be the stupidest question ever. Why are you even asking this? What are you talking about? I'm getting ready to get into my car right now to operate it, and for that I need ID.
So this is the disconnect between the white liberal and the actual race or group of people that they supposedly are, supposed to be helping. Which, you know what, that term supposed to be helping is insulting anyways.
Right.
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so like, we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. Like, that's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right? That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's at on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Would you have a problem getting there if you had to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly, right?
Exactly. I do it at work. So, of course, I know how to use it. My kids know how to use it. They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone has data?
Mm-hmm.
You can access the
Unlimited.
Internet unlimited data.
Mm-hmm. I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say to you for the people who have this perception of black people?
They're pretty much ignorant. That's what my thought process was.
I just think that's ignorant. It's ignorant.
Ignorant. That's the word I'm hearing a lot. Ignorant.
It's very, very ignorant.
Does it sound racist for somebody to say that?
I think it is a little racist because, you're putting people in a category and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe a little bit of racist in it, but like I said, I think it's more stupidity and ignorance.
You're judging somebody, but you're judging them because they black, saying that they don't got it.
What people are they talking to? Who are these people talking to?
Do you have a problem that if you go to vote and they say, "Can we please see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are?" Are you
Love showing my ID.
You have no problem with that?
Nope.
Would you have a problem if, when you go to vote, if they say, "Can we please just see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are?" Do you have an issue with that?
No.
Would you have a problem if there was a rule where you have to show your ID in order to vote?
I don't think so. No.
Would you have an issue if there was a rule saying you got to show your ID before you vote?
Nah.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There's not too much to say about this video. It's just the hypocrisy. It's asinine. It's silly. It doesn't make any sense. Even though this was done back in 2016, like Brian said, this is really coinciding with the open borders thing coming in. Now, what would you do if you ran for president, hypothetically? Here's what I would do if I ran for president. I would open up the borders to people for undocumented people to come over, for amnesty. Is that the word I'm looking for? To come over, because when it's time for election again, who are those people going to vote for? They're going to vote for me because I was generous enough to open up the doors, the floodgates, and let them come in without any proof that they're part of this team. The same thing with POCs. If I say you don't need ID, they're going to be on my team. This is all just a political ploy to get more votes for the Democratic Party coming up.
And in the process, it is the most insulting thing. We're both part of groups. Cedric's black. I have Jewish in my family. Those are two groups that vote Democrat, the majority historically, and the majority vote. And Both of those, I scratch my head and I'm like, why? I don't understand. And you watch things like this, these do-good leftists that think they're doing something good are the most insulting to black voters. Basically treat them, like we said on our last video, like children.
Right.
Why would you vote for a party that treats you like a child?
Right.
Maybe tide is changing. Maybe people will wake up, see videos like this, and see how insulting the people on the Democratic Party actually are to the people that they think are going to get their votes.
Now it's time for a comment. We're going to go back to our old Tom McDonald video that we just did a few days ago.
You're going to see why I wanted this comment.
Well, this person, you got to tell us the correct meaning of your name. We just had a discussion about this. This is from, I say, Stacy Losky.
No, there's an E and there's a vowel in between the S and the K.
It's up there.
I say Losecki.
I think it's Losky. I think I'm right.
All right, you let us know. Stacy, is that her name?
Yes.
Stacy. You let us know, Stacy.
Stacy, let us know how to pronounce your name. You can email us. And so this is, if you guys saw the video with Tom, he's talking about, it's heart emojis about the breakup. And so, and I guess she's talking about me, and she says, Tex is single? Question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point. So I'm Tex. She goes, I love Bayou Brian's comments about your love life.
So I had to scratch my head. I'm like, Bayou Brian, and I think I was wearing my New Orleans cruise shirt. So
yes.
I'm Bayou Brian, he's Tex. I love it.
Yes.
And she hasn't even seen you in your cowboy hat yet, which you'll be wearing next week.
Well, this one I'm wearing this week right now as they're watching this.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So she said, kidding. Had to take an opportunity to rib y'all one more time. Loved it. I will definitely listen to your original subject matter. Glad I found your channel. Delta Love. Stacy, thank you. And you know what? There have been so many people that we haven't met yet who rib us and give us a hard time. You can do it good-naturedly. We love it. I laugh more than anything else.
And look at all of those hearts on there. That must be for Tex.
Those are heart emojis based on the last song. Stacy, love you too.
Thanks for the comments. Keep them coming. We love the comments. Cedric goes through every single one of them.
Yes. Depending on how I'm feeling, you may get an emoji. Oh, make sure it's not digital blackface, though.
Well, you can do that. I can't.
I can do that, yes. So make sure you guys also get the hats here. There's some portrayed in the back there. You guys see those. Make sure you get those hats.
And here's the code you can use to get 10% off.
Yes, yes.
So I hope you liked this video. We're going to start doing some more of these reactions to just social commentary coming up, because we don't want to just make it about music, and we don't just want to make it about Tom, although we love Tom's music. We're going to react to some silly things. If you haven't watched, we did a reaction to What Are White People Superior At, which was just as insulting, but from a different perspective. So go check that out after you're done looking at this.
Exactly. So again, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and share our videos with everyone you know. Hope you guys are having a great week. Until next time, I'm Cedric.
I'm Brian. See you later.